Hello again. I'm Chris Lee of Southeastern 16, joined by Chase Robinson and Jay Greeson. We are previewing Auburn and Baylor, which will be your Friday night game in college football on Fox. Our partners at FanDuel will be bringing our line to us in just a minute. That's a place you can get player props, same game parlays. FanDuel's SGP menu is deep and impressive, so you can really build some fun combinations around player performances and game outcomes. It's got you covered with competitive odds and tons of betting options. Just remember to bet responsibly and have fun with it. Jay Greeson, as of Monday morning, heading into the afternoon, what does FanDuel have in terms of a point spread and an over-under on Auburn and Baylor?
They've got Auburn as a 2.5-point favorite in a line that has swung dramatically through the offseason, even Baylor being a slight favorite for a good chunk of the summer. But now it is settled. We're recording this Monday, the 25th, so 4 days before kickoff. Auburn minus 2.5, and the over-under set at 57.5. My gut tells me over first, considering the offensive talent that these two teams have. But if you go across the menu bar, when you click directly on the Auburn-Baylor game, they've got an interesting parlay of Auburn to win outright, and then the over of 57.5 pays plus 240. So I could very well be enticed to support that view, but I very, very, very seldom bet on my alma mater, on games involving my alma mater.
Well, Jay, it's an interesting game for your alma mater. We're going to get your take on Auburn, and then we'll go to Chase for Baylor. But, I mean, I've circled we did a live show this morning. I said I think Jackson Arnold is the biggest wild card in the league, meaning the range of performance on what you could get from him, I think is wider than maybe any player in the league. I think this is a make-or-break year for Hugh Freeze. A lot riding on this game and a challenging opener for the Tigers out in Baylor.
You did accurately note the wild card factor, the question mark factor that is Jackson Arnold, and he being the linchpin on such an array that could be an impossible, even like a 5-game swing on an Auburn football season that could have 10-2 type talent or could have 5-7 type disaster. So, but in some ways, I think this is on a Friday night on Fox with the entire college football nation captivated. This is the overreaction bowl. And because both of these fan bases can swing with a good performance on this Friday night stage into convincing themselves, look, Baylor's got so much coming back, Chase, that I've seen them as a trendy Big 12 title type of contender, which would be a playoff team. And Auburn's got enough NFL dudes that if they get good quarterback play and their two toughest games of the season in Jordan-Hare, they could talk themselves quickly into being a playoff team. But the reverse of that in the overreaction realm is 100% true, because it was midway through last season that Dave Aranda was 31-32 midway through year 5. Now, they closed the season last year at Baylor with gangbusters. So there's not as much heat on Aranda as there is on Hugh Freeze. But the swing of emotions of 160 minutes in Waco, Texas, this Friday night is hard to really imagine the immensity of.
Chase, your take on Baylor, because I think Dave Aranda's club is interesting. Jay mentioned maybe a possible pick to win the Big 12. Tons of returning offensive production. Now, the defense let Baylor down a year ago. The hope is for Baylor that it'll correct that this year. But how do you see the Bears coming into this one?
Well, I mean, you got to start with your quarterback or their quarterback when you talk about Baylor with Sawyer Robertson. Last year, he threw 28 touchdowns, 317 yards. He was 229 of 369. Very good quarterback. He can be dangerous. And he's got a great running back that's going to be lining up to him next to him as well in Bryson Washington. He had 175 carries last year for 1,028 yards, 12 touchdowns. So he brings some good experience to the offense as well. I know they're missing a running back as well out of that room is Baylor, but it starts with their quarterback in Sawyer Robertson, and he can do some big things. He's a game changer. He's one of those quarterbacks that when he's in the game, that changes things. And so offensively, Baylor is going to be ready to put up some points. And Auburn's defense is improved. That's a good side of the ball for Auburn, and so I think that matchup is going to make it interesting Friday night to see if they can stop Robinson. And then they've made some improvements on the defensive side of the ball. And you're right, that was not their specialty last year, but I think they've done the improvements to be able to, I'm not going to say stop Auburn, especially with the receivers they have, but I think to slow down Auburn. And I think that's going to be the key for Baylor is just to slow them down, make Jackson Arnold force some throws, put him in some bad situations. But I do think that Baylor has made the improvements to be able to do that against Auburn Friday night.
Gentlemen, we've talked about the offenses so far without much mention of the defenses. I want to throw it to you first here on Auburn, Jay, because I think the Tigers' defense last year, it allowed 4.9 yards per snap, which was excellent considering the competition. I mean, excellent against anybody, to be honest with you. Keldric Faulk up front, we think is a first-round NFL draft pick and potentially one of the all-time great Auburn defensive linemen. A lot of other guys back on that side of the ball for Hugh Freeze. A lot of continuity there. Did make some strategic additions in the portal, but mostly is backups. I mean, you've got Kayin Lee, who's a terrific corner, DeMarcus Riddick at linebacker, who's potentially a really good player for them. How do we feel about Auburn's defense? Well, I think I know how you feel about Auburn's defense coming into this one. I think you think this team is loaded on that side of the ball, Jay.
I think they're very athletic. I think all four of their secondary starters and maybe even their nickelback, they were there last year. They've got another year in the system in DJ Durkin's defense. To expand a little bit on your stats praising Auburn's production, I think that's also those numbers got a little weighted and watered down because they had to be on the field so much and they were in some compromising situations because the offensive struggles of a year ago. Their numbers in the first half were far better than their numbers in the second. And the three of us have broken down a lot of various SEC football through the summer, and praise be to God, it's game week. So we've actually we're about to have some actual stuff to discuss that we've seen with our own eyes. But I think one of the real telling factors about this Auburn defense is they are not going to start a single name, at least the depth charts that I've seen in the projections. There are not going to be a whole lot of portal starters, which means that the continuity and the familiarity defensively lets you know, and especially in a huge year for Hugh Freeze, he's got to feel pretty comfortable with the guys he's got coming back if they didn't jump in the portal. I mean, conversely, Chase, Baylor in their front seven, they've got 7 guys on their 2-deep in their front seven defensively out of 14 names.
Right, yeah, and they had 13 guys out of the portal. Again, quite a few of those are going to start or get significant minutes there. And so, like I mentioned earlier, like they know that side of the ball was where they struggled last year. And so they've had to make some improvements. Again, these are some good guys they've brought in. They may not be the household names, but they're guys who are going to get the job done. But yeah, they've got there's not a lot of continuity. And I think that's a good thing for Baylor that they didn't just ride with who they had last year and that they made some changes, because to be in the conversation for the Big 12 like they want to be, to win a game like this over an SEC opponent on Friday night, they have to be solid defensively. And I think, again, we'll just have to wait and see. how that looks for Baylor defensively. But I do think that they put some guys in positions, I'll say this, that I think can challenge Auburn.
Yeah, speaking of Baylor's defense, the Bears did shave about a touchdown off its output defensively from 2023 to 24. So there was some improvement there last year under Dave Aranda, which I think is worth noting. Guys, before we get into picks, just a quick reminder to help out those who help the channel. That starts with Game Time Sidekicks, our friends here. You can see my 40-ounce water tumbler that I fill up with ice and water every morning. Keeps it cold all day. It is officially licensed stainless steel drinkware. Every SEC school, over 350 more universities. So Baylor fans, you can get yours there too. Top of the market quality in terms of construction and ice retention. Tons of designs and logos offered for each school, even a college vault line. Everything from stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, 40-ounce bottles, and shaker cups. Use promo code SE16 to get your 20% discount off at GameTimeSidekicks.com. We are also brought to you by Rockform, which makes the world's strongest magnetic phone case. It has extreme protection, super strong magnets, and rock lock secure mounting. It is the most durable and multifunctional phone case and accessories you will find at Rockform. Quality is paramount. You can expect the same military-grade standards with their case accessories as you do the actual cases. They do make great stuff. I protect my phone in a Rockform product. Go to Rockform, that is ROKFORM.com. Enter promo code SEC25 for 25% off your order. All right, picks and why. We'll start with you, Jay Greeson.
I've got Auburn 38-28. Jackson Arnold north of 300 yards of total offense, and I think 80 of which will be on the ground. And I think Hugh Freeze has a very enjoyable Labor Day for the first time in quite a while.
Chase?
I'm going to go Auburn too. I think it's going to be a really close game. I think it's going to be back and forth. I think the offenses both put on a nice showing. I think it's going to come down to special teams. And Alex McPherson, he's back with Auburn, and I think he gets it done for the Auburn Tigers in a very close Friday night game.
That's a great point. Auburn really missed its kicker a year ago in a season which was defined by a lot of close games. It mostly didn't go Auburn's way. Look, there's a lot of things pointing to Auburn here. The model I've got's got Auburn by about 3. Vegas is favoring Auburn. But at the same time, I think people to watch, I need more belief in Hugh Freeze. I need to see the return to the Auburn guy. I need a little bit more belief in Jackson Arnold. The things that I heard coming out of camp, I don't know if they were overblown or not, but I didn't feel better hearing talk of 3 quarterbacks and plays called from this place to another place and all those things. Maybe that's overblown because at this point in time, Hugh Freeze has become some sort of almost a cartoon character where he's making news all the time and we react to it. No outcome with Auburn this year would surprise me. Playoffs to Hugh Freeze looking for a job. So I'm not ruling out Auburn going and winning. I just need to see evidence I can trust before I will pick Auburn. This game is also at Baylor. Again, I think a Baylor team that is loaded to challenge for the Big 12. I will take Baylor, but not a lot of certainty on my part in this one. Jay, what have we got at FanDuel on the way out? I want to give you have you give us something of interest, whether it's this game or another game. Before we get there, just a reminder that FanDuel gives you player props, same game parlays, and it has an SGP menu that's deep and impressive, so you can really build fun combinations around player performance and game outcomes. FanDuel's got you covered with competitive odds and tons of betting options. Just remember to bet responsibly and have fun with it. Jay, anything on Auburn, Baylor, or anything else in week 1 that you see of interest?
Well, the first game of at least the SEC schedule will be the night before Auburn and Baylor, and that will be the Missouri Tigers playing Central Arkansas. And while you're going to have to pay a heavy freight, I think Missouri is going to put on a show. They're a 36.5-point favorite, but I think Missouri, and you could even be tempted by the over. Look, Missouri's got high hopes. And you've got to put exclamation points when you face overmatched opponents. So if you want to play a college football game on that first night of this week, the Missouri Tigers would be worthy of doing a little research on. They're a 36.5-point favorite over a terrible Central Arkansas team on FanDuel.com as we speak.
Yeah, that line felt light to me too. Okay, we're here to give you predictions and reactions to all SEC football games. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. Give us a thumbs up. If you like the content, follow us where you get your audio stuff too. That always helps the channel. Anyway, we're here to cover baseball, football, and basketball at the SEC year-round. For Jay Greeson and Chase Robinson, I'm Chris Lee. Thank you for watching. God bless you. We'll see you again soon at Southeastern 16.